Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Opinionated Cheese. Thank you so much for joining me today. Gonna do away with the green screen, just give a little quick fire review of the movie Joker.
And maybe tomorrow.
Joker is a hot mess of a movie. It's one of those movies that acts like it has a lot to say, but really it says nothing. It is the film equivalent to the expression, society, man. People, you know? Problems and stuff. And before you jump down my throat and be like, oh, you're a hater, you're a Marvel fanboy, or any of the other stupid things people might say, know that I actually love DC. Batman, Green Lantern, and Wonder Woman are my top 3 favorite superheroes. And comic-wise, I'm not really a fan of Marvel, although it's undeniable that they're killing it in the cinematic sense. I always try to root for DC movies, but this is not the DC movie to root for. When it comes to the Joker, I feel like the less you know about him, the better. I do not like the idea of a Joker origin story. Not even that Alan Moore one that everybody seems to love for some reason. The less we know about him, the better. Like, he has no rhyme or reason, no name, no backstory. I can delve into the madness, if you will. However, let's say that it turns out he was actually just a guy named Arthur, and he was like bullied too much. So he decides to become a clown and kill people he doesn't like. You kind of forced me to turn my brain on. Don't be a dick, asshole. Is bullying really that hard? Is life really that hard? Look at me. I'm a fat guy. I was bullied, trust me. I never went out and shot a bunch of people. So, no. Keep him as vague and as mysterious as possible. So this movie was clearly inspired by 2 Martin Scorsese films, Taxi Driver and The King of Comedy. However, I don't want that to be a legitimate criticism. It's okay to take from other people. There's a movie called 10 Things I Hate About You that is basically just a retelling of William Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew, and it works. God, you're all gonna hate me for giving that example, aren't you? If I can now full circle all of that to this movie, wow, what a hot mess.
And maybe tomorrow.
We meet a man named Arthur Fleck, who has a condition where he cannot control his laughter. Whether he's happy or sad or otherwise, he just laughs uncontrollably. That's right, that's how they explain it. He has a laughing condition. Good for you, movie. Arthur Fleck lives a tough life. It turns out he's a clown who works with a bunch of other clowns for like a clown company, and they get odd jobs doing clown stuff, like waving signs or going to children's hospitals. Arthur gets beaten up by a bunch of teenagers, and a coworker bullies him into taking a gun. And even though Arthur doesn't want the gun, he still takes it. Sure. We go home, we see Arthur's mom. She is also a sad sack. She's been writing letters to Thomas Wayne to try to get money out of him because she used to work for him. That'll come into play later. He really wants to fuck his neighbor. Now, spoilers right off the bat, it turns out that there's a few scenes in this movie that involve that neighbor chick, but by the end of the movie, we find out that he was hallucinating the whole time, so none of those scenes actually matter, and he's just a sad sack. So, thanks, movie. Arthur goes to a children's hospital, and he brings the gun with him, and he gets caught with the gun. That leads to him being fired. Now, the movie really wants me to feel sad for him, but no, that's a good reason to fire somebody. You definitely shouldn't be bringing guns to children's hospitals. But in the movie world, oh, his boss is a bad guy. Oh, meanie pants, frown face. He takes the train home, still in his sad sack clown outfit, and there's these 3 bro dudes, being all bro, and they spot him and he starts laughing uncontrollably. So they dominate the fuck out of him and start beating him up, and he shoots all 3 of them dead. In fact, it's actually worse than that. He kills 2 of them in self-defense, I'll give you that, but the 3rd guy runs away. And I'm sorry, that's where it crossed the line. He chases after that dude and fucking kills him. But anyway, let's go ahead and keep going. A good thing about his life is he aspires to be a stand-up comedian, and he idolizes the host of his favorite late-night talk show, a la Johnny Carson, Jimmy Kimmel. Late-night talk show, you get the idea. He is in love with this guy. So then his mother has to go to the hospital. It is then heavily insinuated that Thomas Wayne, the rich billionaire, might be his father. So this Arthur character goes to Wayne Manor, and he awkwardly plays with a very, very young Bruce Wayne, and this like gets him in trouble with the butler, and there's like an awkward situation. Then like a few days later, he confronts Thomas Wayne in the bathroom. And he's like, I'm your son. And Thomas Wayne's like, you're crazy. Stay away from my family. And he punches him in the face. Now, spoiler, by the end of the movie, we find out that Thomas Wayne is not his father. So I want you to think about this scene from Thomas Wayne's perspective. This crazy guy trespassed onto your property and touched your son, is now like demanding things from you. And yeah, he punched him in the face, but that's not the way you're supposed to look at it. Thomas Wayne, he's a meanie pants frowny face. Poor Arthur. Arthur tries to do stand-up comedy. He goes to an open mic and he completely fails. Now, as someone who's done stand-up before, I feel you, brother. It ain't easy. Somehow somebody was recording him, and like that kind of like goes viral in a sense, and his favorite talk show host plays a clip of him failing on stage and like makes fun of him. And yeah, like he's a dick, meanie pants, frowny face. A bunch of people really liked Arthur as like a freak show attraction, so he gets invited to appear on the show because why not, movie? Alright, so this whole time he's been going to counseling sessions, and it feels like he was forced into it because he was like abused as a child, because we have to give him as many reasons as possible to explain why he decides to murder people. Feel bad for Arthur. Don't be like, yo, nut up, bro, and go get a new job and make something of yourself. Feel bad for Arthur. Meanie pants, frowny faces are everywhere. Life is sad. He stops going to counseling. He stops taking his medication. He finds out that his mother had been lying to him the whole time, and it turns out he was adopted. So he kills her. Cool. She is definitely played as like an out of it, almost like dementia patient who clearly had problems of her own. And, maybe we should sympathize with that. But no, like meanie pants, frowny face. Ooh, Arthur had a bad life. Then 2 of his co-workers show up at his house on the day that he's meant to go on the talk show. He just murders one of them in cold blood. I'm going to get back to the other guy in a second, but hear me out. He puts on brand new clown makeup and a brand new suit. He goes out to, go to the studio when he gets confronted by 2 police officers. They begin chasing him. Now, something I've left out until now, when he killed those 3 guys at the subway station on the train, he somehow became like a figurehead for like an Occupy style, like down with the 1%, like a Guy Fawkes in a way. So people are like donning clown masks and, holding up signs like, ooh, down with the rich, you think we're all clowns, because society, man. Arthur just happens to hop on a train being chased by these police that is filled with protesters wearing clown masks, yada, yada, yada. One of the protesters gets shot. That causes the cops to get beat up, and Arthur gets away. Arthur shows up at this show, and yeah, they like talk about it, but no, like they let him go on the show in full clown makeup while a literal clown-based protest is happening outside. Okay, I'll roll with it. He goes on the show, and he makes like a really obvious and scripted monologue about, oh, society forgot about the little man, and poor me, you're all a bunch of meanie pants, frowny faces. And he fucking shoots the host. He kills the guy. He shoots him in the face. Because, being made fun of a few times, that justifies murdering a man. Meanie pants, frowny faces made fun of me. He's being driven in a cop car while protests are happening all around him. A car driven by a protester slams into the cop car. They pull him out, very symbolic-y, very Jesus, because this is the guy I want to have Jesus comparisons to. Also, while that's happening, Thomas and Martha Wayne are coming out of a Zorro movie. With their son. One of the protesters kills Thomas and Martha Wayne in front of Bruce because Batman, baby! The biggest irony of all of this to me, so remember how I said 2 guys came to his apartment, but he only killed 1? So the entire point of this movie is, oh, look how sad this oppressed little man is. Alright, so that second guy who came to his apartment is a literal little man. For lack of a better word, he is a midget. This character, this dwarf, however you want to refer to him, he is played for laughs throughout the whole movie. We make fun of him. When he sees his friend get killed and he tries to leave the apartment, it's played for a joke that he can't unlock the door because he can't reach it. Now, I want you to think about what I'm saying. In a movie where I'm supposed to feel bad for a oppressed little man, We are literally making fun of an actual little person who probably really is marginalized by society and really does have it tough, but fuck him, because midgets are funny, man. Fuck this movie. It's a tone-deaf pile of trash. As far as I'm concerned, if you like this movie, you're the kind of person that watches Fight Club and thinks Tyler Durden is the good guy.
And maybe tomorrow.
And you know, I'm sure you listened to that whole thing, and fuck me for having a different opinion, and I'm sorry if I was brash or if I name-called, you know, I'm just flying off the cuff here. And to my viewers who watch all my videos, I know when it comes to these quick-fire reviews, I tend to lean towards the negative, so I want to say right off the bat, some movies I've missed this year that I actually really loved. The Peanut Butter Falcon, hands down, probably my favorite movie so far this year. I really loved Us. I really loved Midsommar. There's been a bunch of great movies this year, and I'm sorry I haven't had time to do it. I'm a one-man army over here. But please don't see Joker. You probably already have because it broke box office records. But, like, if you can, like, don't support this movie. And, you know, there's already, like, award season talk with it. And, like, please, God, no. Like, that would be the worst thing they can do. Which is probably why it's gonna happen. Have a good day.